This week on Moms Like Us, Jana Kramer opens up about her terrifying park experience with her daughter.
She came up to me and she goes, "Is your daughter Jolie?" And I said, "Yes." And that's when she said she just got into a white SUV. And I what? And Mike's like screaming Jolie. I book it so fast to the parking lot.
Plus, Jessie James Decker reveals why she had to get a lock on her bedroom door.
We had to finally get a lock on the door. Let's just say that. We never had a lock on our bedroom door. And we had some close calls a few times.
And Jeremy and Audrey Roloff talk future baby plans.
I'm a year out. Bodhi just had his first birthday. So we want to have more kids sometime soon in the near future.
We've got that plus so much more on today's Moms Like Us. Hey guys, Christina Garibaldi here with Brianne Mans from Stroller in the City, and welcome to Moms Like Us. Hi, Brianne.
Hey, Christina. How's it going?
Good. How about you?
We're going, just moving along.
Moving right along. We got a lot to get to today, a lot of moms in the news this week, as always, but we're going to kick it off with a trend of kids and parents taking advantage of some snow days. I know a lot of people are at home now, so they are taking advantage of whenever the snow falls, and including James Vanderbeek, who probably didn't think when he moved to Texas with his 5 kids that they would get snow, but it happened. He wrote on Instagram, "In the midst of all this man-made chaos, Mother Nature dropped a little bit of magic." He even posted a video of him having a snowball fight with his kids. And by the looks of it, you don't want to mess with Dad.
I know.
I love this.
I love that too. And then also Jason Aldean, he enjoyed a Nashville snow day with his 2 children, Navy and Memphis. Look at those baby blues. It's too cute.
So cute. They are adorable. And then Allison Holker and her husband, Steven Twitch Boss, enjoyed a sledding day with their kids. As she captioned the photo, "Snow day with the kiddos, a perfect chance for some fresh air." I'm totally all about it. I love it so much.
Me too.
Your kids still take advantage of the snow days?
Absolutely. I mean, we only had one so far this year, and it wasn't really even a snow day because now that the kids are remote, the schools are kind of like, well, you can still do school, which I think is so mean. And
it really is.
2 of my kids' teachers actually thought the same thing, and they were like, you know what, we're going to get done early so you guys can get outside. And that's what we did. So it was a really fun snow day. But all the Texas peeps, I'm so jealous of your snow day the other day.
I know. I love that. Texas, Nashville, they all got some snow. Are you a big snow person? Do you like getting out in the snow with them, or are you like, I'd rather be inside sipping hot chocolate?
I mean, I go back and forth. My kids are all skiers, snowboarders. My husband's a big snowboarder, so we always do the mountains all the time. Yeah. I kind of like to just like get them all off on the mountain, and then kind of like, I'm like a bunny type girl.
Me too.
My kids are better than me on the slopes. I'm like, go have fun. But I love it. I love it. It's so much fun. And I don't know what's going to happen this year, if we're going to go, if we're not going to go, like COVID stuff going on. I know a lot of my friends that have, and I'm kind of missing it. I will say.
No, definitely. I know I am missing just getting outside, getting some fresh air, and just like, enjoying some time. So hopefully we can all get to hit the slopes this year.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's get to our celeb mom and dad news of the week. Brianne, what's going on?
Last week, we talked about Jenna Kramer's terrifying experience at the park when someone told her that her 4-year-old daughter, Jolie, got into a white SUV. We caught up with Jana, who went into detail about what really happened that day. So take a look at this.
I mean, you probably lived maybe every parent's worst nightmare recently when you opened up about your Jolie at the park. I literally, when I read it, my heart sank, and I couldn't even imagine what you must have been going through. I mean, can you just talk to me a little bit more about that? Because I can see it in your face right now.
Well, the thing that keeps ringing is your daughter just got into a white SUV. And I mean, that I still I keep saying to my husband, I'm like, that I can't get that sentence out of my head. That was so tough because she's at the age where she just kind of runs around with her friends, and I see her, and she runs around, and I check in with her, and she keeps running around. But this playground was huge, and there's a parking lot right there. So Mike was there as well, and we just went down the slide, and I mean it was less than a minute. This girl who had heard me screaming Jolie and Jace in the park, like, "Jolie, Jace!" She came up to me and she goes, "Is your daughter Jolie?" And I said, "Yes." And that's when she said she just got into a white SUV, and I what? And Mike's screaming Jolie. I book it so fast to the parking lot, and I see the white SUV, and then I see Jolie and the little girl coming around it. Well, what I know is that the little girl's mom, I think the little girl was same age as Jolie, 5. She was just sitting in her car. Cause I guess the new thing is for moms to sit in their cars at the park, which no judgment. I just personally am very like focused on the kids. So I don't personally think I could do that. I mean, I have a friend that does, again, no judgment, but when I saw Jolie, and I didn't put this in my Instagram post, but my immediate response was, I was like, you don't ever leave without mommy and daddy. And then like, I think my reaction scared her. And I was just like, oh my God, baby, no, I'm so sorry. I was just like, I was like, I've never told you, like, you can't leave, you know, like you can't leave the park, baby, without mommy and daddy. And I was just so scared. Cause I'm like, she could have, I mean, sex trafficking is everywhere and it terrifies me. So I'm like, someone could have taken her, right, or she could have got hit by a car in the parking lot. So, I mean, there was just like, my immediate reaction was just like, I just was like, you don't ever. And she was, I think again, that scared her. But yeah, I mean, it was a learning lesson. And I'm trying to tell her like, okay, every day, like, baby, remember if we're at a park, like what happened? Like, you come to mommy and daddy, but it was terrifying. So now I'm like, I mean, I'm already laser focused. So I don't know, you know, it's just.
And that's, you know, too, like you said, like you can turn around for 2 seconds and like it just happens in an instant. I don't think people realize how quickly these things do happen.
Yeah, they're fast little ones. So, I mean, it was a good reminder, and I'm glad I almost didn't post about it because I was like, oh gosh, here come the haters. Like, well, if you know, if your nanny, I was like, first of all, we don't have a nanny. And I'm like, I don't want to defend like any of this stuff. So I don't want to defend. I know I'm a great mom. Like I've always said, I'm a good singer, I'm a good actress, but I'm a great freaking mom. Like, and I know that in my heart. So I was like, if I have to go up against these women, and then I was like, you know what? Because I know that, I'm posting it because I would have loved the reminder.
Sure,
if I have a friend, I'm like, I need it. And so I had so many friends be like, oh my gosh, my daughter's 5'2". I've never had the conversation with her. So I was like, okay, hopefully this helped a kid not get hurt.
Yeah. Did you feel like you got a positive response out of this one, or was it? That's good.
I feel like it was, and I'm glad that the people appreciated the message because they hadn't also had that conversation.
Right. I mean, how did you have to like sit her down afterwards and be like, okay, this is why this was wrong, and you know why you can't do this in the future?
Every day we've had.
Every day. Yeah, you're like, it's like she wakes up, has breakfast, we have this conversation.
Yeah. But my fear is like with kids, I'm like, what if they see a puppy? You know what I mean? And like, it's just because there was something on YouTube that I watched about like they did an experiment, and even the kids that were told that. So I think it's just the whole point is just to be vigilant, and just be mindful that anything can happen in a split second.
Did she get in the car, or she was just outside the car with her friend?
So all I saw was her just coming around. So I don't know if she actually did get in, but probably what the mom saw was that this is the car, and the Jolie walked around. She probably just thought that she got into the car.
Right. Thank God for that mom that told you too.
Thank goodness. I mean, thank goodness it was just the little girl's mom. But yeah, I mean, like, and that's another thing, like, I look out for other kids too. So I'm glad that mom was as well. Yeah.
Did that other mom say anything to you? Or was she like, oh?
I just, when I came back, I was just like, thank you so much. She was like,
oh no, the mom that was in the car, did she say anything, or did she?
I didn't even, I was just focused on Jolie and getting her, like, catching my daughter.
Oh my God. Well, I'm so glad everything is okay. And like you said, it is a learning experience, but not one that you definitely want to go through.
Never again.
No. So crazy. I mean, like, you could just tell, like, even just bringing it up, she is like still processing this whole thing. And, you know, I mean, she said she didn't say anything to the mom in the parked car. I don't know. Would you have said something to her? I mean, it's not really the mom's fault either. So
no, it's not. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what I would have done in that moment. I probably would have been frozen just like her. Mm-hmm. But I mean, like, do you say something? I know it's like always like after the fact, like, oh, I should have said this to her. You know, I don't know. It's horrifying. I mean, we spoke about it last week. Like we were just kind of, and we wanted to know more detail, obviously, what was happening. I am just like, I'm still horrified for her.
I really am too. But, you know, she said that she is talking to her daughter, like literally every single day about it, because she's only 4. So, you know, you have to keep reminding them, because she was like, what did she even saw like a cute puppy and ran away. And I didn't even know, you know, where she was. So you really have to, she's like, it was really a wake up call for me that I have to talk to my kids about this. And it's really important, but it's a scary situation.
Oh, so scary.
Oh, so scary. All right, let's move on to Alex Rodriguez, because he opened up about co-parenting with his ex-wife, Cynthia Curtis. The two, of course, share daughters, Natasha, 16, and Ella, 12. Now, he said during his Raising the Bar podcast, we position what could be perceived as a negative into a positive. by saying to the girls, look, now you don't have one house, you have two houses. You don't have two parents, you have four parents. Lucky you, the more the merrier. I think this is super important, turning obviously this negative situation of their parents getting divorced into a positive. And their parents did get divorced when they were at a young age. So it's probably a little hard for them to process this as well.
Absolutely. But it seems to me that they're like managing it perfectly. Like everyone seems happy. And they, both parents, I feel like they both, respect one another. I mean, they're definitely the parents you want to be if you do get divorced.
I know, right? And, he even said that he is really close with his ex-wife's husband, and she is really close with Jennifer Lopez. I mean, I would want to be really close to Jennifer Lopez as well. So
really,
I mean, it seems like everything is working out really, really well. And and Alex has such a close relationship with Jennifer's kids too, who she shares with Mark Anthony. So it seems like it's one big blended happy family.
Exactly. They are. They totally are. I love it. I love it. Yes. Okay, so next up, Artem worried about his new role as a father just ahead of Nikki Bella's birth. He said in an episode of Total Bellas, what I'm nervous about the most is have you a certain attachment to it. I don't have the same attachment because it's not within me for 9 months. I'm shitting myself. I'm sitting in the car thinking, this is it. You don't really get it until you process it. I'm like, the water broke. Oh, shit. I mean, he's so funny. He's so cute. I love how real he's being. Yeah. I mean, was your husband like that?
Well, it was funny. My husband was away at a wedding when my water broke. So he was driving up from like Pennsylvania. So I think he was probably doing that in the car by himself. My mom had to drive me to the hospital. So.
Oh my goodness. He's probably like, I can't miss it either. He probably thought he was going to miss it.
He probably thought so too. I'm like, you're okay. Don't worry. Like, drive safe. Was your husband like that?
No, he was like totally like cool, calm and collective. I mean, even like the second time when my water practically broke on like the subway while I was taking my son to like an amusement park in Central Park. I kept calling him and he was on a shoot like somewhere upstate with no cell service, none. And like, I couldn't get a hold of him, I remember. And I was like, I think you have to like come home now because like my water broke and like, I think I have to go to the hospital. And like, I was more calm because it was my second.
Sure.
But he was just like, okay, like 3 hours away or whatever he was, like same thing. God.
Did he make it in time?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't give birth till the following day.
Yeah.
Crazy. But yeah, I mean, he's very like calm and cool about the whole thing.
Yeah. Did he worry like how Artem worried about not having an attachment to the kids? Because like I thought that was an interesting comment that he made, because I never really heard that a husband or a partner say that they didn't feel an attachment to their child before it arrived, because he didn't carry it.
Right. I also think that most men don't even talk about that.
Right. Yeah.
They think about it, but they never talk. I mean, my husband never thought about it, talked about it. I mean, I think he was probably like the first one to change a diaper. Like he was like very like hands-on, like, like he was like pretty much attached like the minute the baby came out. I mean, I guess when you're carrying the baby for 9 months, like they don't get it because they're not experiencing it, they're not feeling it. So I can see them feeling a little left out. I mean, I've heard guys sometimes are like, oh, my wife's pregnant now, so it's about the baby and not me, stuff like that. But no, my husband never experienced that. How about you?
No, never experienced it, or never, like you said, never talked about it. But it is definitely an interesting perspective that I think maybe could be brought up more.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
right.
Totally. I like
Probably
it.
brought up in like a dad group that we don't know.
Yeah, that we don't know about. Yeah. All right. Well, next up, Riverdale star Vanessa Morgan is in the final stretch of her pregnancy and is getting her hospital bag ready. She showed off a sound bowl, which promotes relaxation, on her Instagram stories, which she said is an essential for her hospital bag. Now she is expecting her first child with her estranged husband, Michael Kopech. I thought this was interesting because I wouldn't really think of bringing a sound bowl to the hospital, but I think every mom is different of how they want to kind of bring their baby into the world and what kind of relaxation they want to do. What were some essentials that were in your hospital bag?
Oh my goodness. I really don't think I had any, to be honest with you. I had like the baby's, first outfit was like the most important to me. Like, what is the baby going to come home in? A couple of swaddles, some like pajamas for myself, but no, I didn't really have anything at all. And I wasn't that mom too, that I was like, I had to get my hair blown out like beforehand. I was like, my hair is like in a top knot, like that's it. Maybe I took makeup with me.
Right.
I don't know.
Totally. I mean, my bag wasn't even packed yet because she was so early. So my mom also had to pack my bag when she like came home while I was in the hospital. So I really like she just threw everything in the kitchen sink in there. So, but yes, the most important thing was definitely the outfit going home for the baby. But I don't know. It's just like whatever works. But did you feel like as you had your second and your third, like you were just like brought less and less because you're like, I don't need all of this stuff?
Yeah, I don't think you need much. I mean, you really don't need anything, right? Like going into the hospital. I mean, besides like baby's clothes, I mean, they provide you with like the diaper and everything else. I mean, maybe your own pump stuff, you know? Mm-hmm. I guess that, you know, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah.
I love it though.
I know. Okay, so Leah Michelle is combating her postpartum hair loss and wants to help other new moms do the same. The actress shared her tips. She wrote, I've always been a big believer in eating well and that looking and feeling your best starts with what you put in your body. So it's not a surprise that eating right can help you with postpartum hair loss. And incorporating fruits, veggies, healthy proteins, some suggested foods including eggs, vitamin D, dark leafy greens, vitamin C and iron, and fish, omegas, and magnesium. She added, it's not fun, and after everything our bodies went through for 9 months and after, it's hard experiencing this, especially when we want to get back to feeling like ourselves again. But in the end, it's just temporary, and our bodies are beautiful and amazing to do what they do. She goes, my biggest tip is to throw your hair in the trash, not in the sink, and to avoid clogging the drain. I love this. I mean, I 100% experienced hair loss, like with all three of my kids, for sure.
Yeah. Luckily, I didn't experience hair loss, but I've heard it's very, very common. A lot of people do. And, you know, and like clumps of hair will come out too.
Yeah. I mean, I have thick hair, so obviously you couldn't see it as much, but yeah, the clumps of hair definitely coming out. And then, you know, even when I didn't notice it, I actually there would be like little baby hairs like growing back. And I'm like, what happened here? And it was obviously from, you know, postpartum hair loss.
Right. Yeah. Was there any other strange things that happened to you post-birth that you weren't ready for or aware of?
You know what no one told me about the hot sweats when you get home from the hospital, like right after you give birth?
Yeah.
I remember waking up in hot sweats and being like, oh my God, like what is happening
What's going
to me?
on? Yeah.
No one talks about that.
No, nobody talks about that either. That's so true. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, there's so many weird things that your body goes through right afterwards. And like how, even if you lift something heavy, you're still like straining because like you're recovering.
Yep. And even like the contractions, like afterwards, like when your, you know, uterus is like shrinking.
Yes.
No one talks about that either.
Where are all the books postpartum?
Come on.
Yes, we need more information about that. Absolutely. All right, next up, our moms are just like us moment has to go to Jessie James Decker, who realized why having locks on her bedroom door is essential, especially during quarantine. Take a look. Has this time in quarantine tested your relationship at all, or has it brought you guys closer together? Because obviously you have 3 kids running around. It's a lot of togetherness. It's a lot going on.
For sure. No, and I'll be honest, and I'll tell you why. I think because we kind of got our test a year before because Eric retired from football. And so when he was playing before, he was gone more. I was used to kind of just taking over the kids and doing everything on my own when he was playing football, you know. And so then after he retired, we were kind of, I guess, quarantined together. Like he didn't have a job to go to. He was laying low and we were just together all the time, 24/7. But we're one of those weird couples that we just like that. We like being together. We're best friends. And so it was totally fine. It was not a shock is what I'm saying. So this year, being quarantined together, I think the only challenge was we never really we had to finally get a lock on the door. Let's just say that. We never had a lock on our bedroom door. And we had some close calls a few times. So he finally put a lock. And that was the only challenge, is we didn't have any of that time together. And so we figured it out, got the lock on the door, and we call it iPad time. So we can have it's too much information.
I love that. That was so funny. I love that iPad time. Mommy and Daddy have their iPad time now. And then they're banging on the door.
Every parent knows this trick.
Then they're banging on the door. They're like, Mom, Dad, what are you doing? You're like, iPad time.
It's the worst.
You're like, I can't get 5 minutes to myself. That's so funny.
A good 8 minutes, you know?
Totally. I love this. This is so funny. I love how she's getting so real about, you know, having alone time with her husband and having some very close calls with her kids.
Yes, absolutely. Oh my God. I mean, we live in an apartment. There is like nothing right now. It's kind of hard.
Yes, like there's no alone time. But I did like how she said, you know, they call it iPad time when she wants to have some time away from her kids. So I thought that was kind of funny that she has like a code word for her and her husband.
I think so too, but I got to be honest with you. My kids would not abide by that, and they're like older than her kids. My kids would be like, "What do you mean? I want to go on the iPad too?" You know,
you're like,
and
if you're
right next to you, and so I can touch you.
You're like, if you're having iPad time, so am I.
Exactly.
I love it though. So funny.
Okay, so our mom and dad of the week goes to Audrey and Jeremy Roloff.
Yeah.
Right. So our mom and dad of the week goes to Audrey and Jeremy Roloff, who recently survived 1 whole year with 2 kids. So are they already thinking about more? Well, this is what they told us.
I mean, you guys said that you do want to have a big family. I mean, do you feel like you want to be pregnant again, or do you want to kind of take a little bit of time and kind of, like you said, let your body heal and kind of maybe get back to feeling like yourself a little bit?
Yeah, I know, right? Isn't that the question?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've always said we wanted to have a big family, and I do feel like really my body, I feel totally recovered now. You know, I'm a year out. Bodhi just had his first birthday, so we're yeah, we want to have more kids sometime soon in the near future.
That's the plan.
That's the plan. I mean, you mentioned curveballs before, and obviously going from 1 child to 2 children is probably a huge curveball in relationship, home life. I mean, how did you guys make that adjustment, and how hard was that on your marriage? Because now you're focusing on 2 children rather than just 1. So I'm sure it's a big adjustment.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, we're still like so young in our parenting journey and totally just like trying to figure it out. But for me, I would say like the biggest transition for me was from 0 kids to 1 kid. That was really hard. And I feel like, I don't know, we don't know how many kids we're going to have. We've always liked the idea of a big family, but the transition from 1 to 2 was much more intuitive for me. And I just like, you know, there was all the hard things, and now there's 2 kids to take care of, but we knew what we were doing a little bit more. We knew what to expect a little bit more. And I think that expectation management thing was a huge thing for me. And just like having all the things to take care of my body and me recovering and all of that. So,
but it's really great now because they
play together.
They're just at the age where they play together.
Yeah.
So
like Bodhi just turned 1. So
we'll like start our fire earlier now, and they'll go in the playroom and
chase each other
play
around
for like 45 minutes, an hour before bed. And that's been a really
nice.
Cool recent development.
Definitely. Are they getting along very well?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're Bodhi's pretty compliant. He's just a very chill dude. So he kind of just, and Ember's
if Ember has someone to talk to,
she's happy.
She's happy. And Bodhi just does not. He's chill.
Still a clueless 1-year-old.
Yeah. Was it hard for her to adjust in the beginning? Because I know, you know, a lot of my friends that go from 1 to 2, they say, you know, it is a big adjustment for their older ones. Like, you know, they're not fans of them stealing their toys or playing with their toys and things like that. So what was the biggest adjustment for her?
I think in the beginning it was pretty good. Mm-hmm. I would say like right around, you know, once he could crawl and take her toys, that was a transition, different adjustment. But Ember's always been super into babies and always been super nurturing. So she was super excited and like wanted to hold Bodhi in the beginning, like those first 6 months. So I'd say the bigger transition was like when he started stealing her food and snacks and, you know, things like that, like right around 6 months.
Yeah, she said, you know, she's, they want a big family, you know, they are ready, but she's like, definitely in the near future, but she's like, I just had celebrated my 2nd kid's first birthday. Let me breathe a little.
I agree. And then like, you know, sometimes you don't know. I mean, I don't think I knew I always wanted to have 3 kids either. I feel like that changed. Like when I was younger, because I am one of 3, I'm the oldest. And I always told my mother, I'm only having 1 kid. I don't like sharing. I don't want to do this. Like, I want to have an only child. And I said this for a very, very long time. And then when I was like a little bit older, then I was like, okay, well, maybe 2.
Yeah.
And then I don't think I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to have 3 kids. Like, I don't think I thought that.
Right. Yeah. That's so funny. I guess I like, for a long time, I was like, oh, I don't know if I even want kids. And then like, of course you get older and you're like, yeah, no, I definitely do. And then you're like, do I want a second? Do I want to go through all that again? But I think when your family is complete.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. For sure.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to our clapback of the week. And it goes to new mom, Lindsay Arnold. The Dancing with the Stars pro took to Instagram to clap back at trolls who found a problem with how she is parenting her 2-month-old daughter, Sage. She wrote, "This is my thumbs up to everyone out there who actually thinks it's okay to comment or criticize anyone else's parenting. Why? Why do we do this to others, especially people we don't know? You don't need to remind me of that, but why don't we use our energy instead of always looking for the negative and finding things to criticize? I'm very over it. So if that's what you want to do on Instagram, please unfollow me and leave my kind and loving followers alone." I mean, it's so hard. I mean, dealing with these trolls, but you're only 2 months into parenting. Like, you're going to make mistakes and you're literally just figuring out as you go along.
I know. I feel so bad for her. And the fact that she even had to say it. I mean, every week I feel like we are left speechless with our clapback. Right? We're left like, how can someone do this? I don't understand. But yeah, I mean, 2 months, what are you criticizing her for? Like, stop. Like,
what is she doing wrong?
She's tired, I mean, she's only 2 months in. I'm sure she has not had a full night's sleep since she's had the baby. Yeah. Give her some slack. Give her some slack.
Give her a break. We're actually talking to her. She'll be on the show next week, so we can talk to her all about why she's clapping back at these trolls and what, the past couple months have been like for her. So definitely looking forward to that.
Yes.
All right. Well, that is it for this week, Brianne. Thank you so much as always.
Thank you, Christina. Enjoy the rest of the week.
Thank you, you too. Be sure to check in every Thursday on Us Weekly's YouTube channel for moms like us. Keep commenting, keep subscribing, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yes. Bye, guys.